Good afternoon. My name is Jason Eves, and today I'll be giving you an informative speech on South Korea. How many of you have ever traveled to another country? See, well, that's a lot of you. I feel that the world has gotten smaller due to the advances in technology. I mean, we can basically travel to any country in the world by way of airplane. I did a little bit of traveling when I was a little kid, but it was mainly here in the United States. It wasn't until I joined the service I actually traveled the world. I was stationed in South Korea, in Daegu, South Korea, for about 2 years, where I was ingrained in the culture of South Korea. I believe everyone has a desire to travel the country at least one time during his or her lifetime. However, we don't necessarily always have the time or the financial means to travel. For these reasons, I think by listening to other people's experiences, we can get an idea of other countries we've never been to or want to travel to. So today, I'm going to explain a little bit about South Korea, its culture, its geography, and some of its cuisine. So we'll start with the geography. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, upon arriving to Korea, I was immediately taken back by the lush green rice fields, the hills, the forests, and some of the mountains. South Korea is a peninsula with mountainous terrain in the east, and in the west and south it has many offshore islands and many harbors. According to National Geographic, Korea is about the size of Indiana, slightly larger. In Indiana, there's about 6.5 million people. However, in Korea, there's 48 million people. So that's roughly 7.3 times more people in the same area. So pretty full country, would you say? In Korea, you experience all four seasons. You got spring, summer, winter, fall. The winters are ridiculously cold because you have Siberian winds from Russia that come down and make Korea extremely cold during the winter. The prettiest seasons are spring and fall. In the spring, they have what's called Cherry Blossom Festival, where you have all the cherry blossoms that bloom, and the countryside is covered in pink and white landscape, which makes it a very pretty sight. Next slide, please. Moving on, I'll explain a little bit about the Korean culture. Greetings follow a strict protocol in Korea. The bow is a traditional Korean greeting, much like in Japan. A bow is simply a bow, just like that. But however, Koreans have adopted handshaking after they bow as a way to merge Western culture with Asian culture. Respect for elders play a big part in Korea. So it's customary when dining with someone to wait for them to sit down before you sit down and start eating. All right, and this goes for drinking as well, because drinking, the tradition is you should never serve yourself. All right, so you should always wait for somebody to plate your food or pour your drink. So if you're dining with someone who is older than you, you should definitely pour their glass first before you. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. All right, next, moving on to traditional Korean food. Korean food is generally delicious, but very, very spicy. Their national food is kimchi. Now, kimchi is a cold, fermented, pickled cabbage. Now, I know that sounds disgusting, but it's actually pretty good. According to sociologist Dr. Martin Gannon, in his 2001 book, Understanding Global Cultures, kimchi represents Korea like a hamburger would reflect the United States. So it's a pretty popular food. Kimchi is served with every dish there is in Korea, or at every meal, excuse me. Some other popular foods in Korea are bulgogi, which is a marinated beef, which is either grilled or barbecued. It's delicious. And then you have kalbi, which is a pork rib, pretty much. And trust me, I've had my fair share of kalbi. In conclusion, I hope by you learning a little bit about Korea, it has inspired you to visit this wonderful country and experience it firsthand. Thank you very much for your time.